I took this opportunity to take this class because I wanted access to the Apple computers, and I don't have one at home. But I did an 8-month filmmaking course back in 2001. This project was inspired by a presentation I did with the Indigenous Sovereignty Week, and I combined potlatch, the story of Chinique, and the flood story. Oh, I have to talk. Oh, sorry. So I combined 3 stories, and what surprised me was I do know who we are. And when it was time to pick a topic for this presentation, I had difficulties in narrowing it down to just one, and then actually having to edit down to 3 minutes was kind of difficult. But my background is I have 4 grandparents Indigenous to Saanich, one from Couch, and they all had different religions. So I had the opportunity to listen to their debates about religion as I was growing up. But I also had family members that were of different rankings. And I think a lot of people don't know that we had different rankings within the Native community. And every family offered, or every person had something different to offer to the community. And trying to get back, I think the influence and the impact of residential schools sort of brought us more to a slave level where we were more like servants than being who we are as people. So in this presentation, I think I tried to warn people that it's propaganda, and I'm trying to go back to our own gifts, back to being human beings again, rather than being lorded over or trained members of society, I think was my intent. Thanks.
The Saanich people call themselves the human beings. The Saanich nobles take care of everyone. The high-ranked have more responsibility in taking care of all others. The lowest ranking own their children and only care for the offspring that adhere to their authority. In this, the family will never achieve independence as to overthrow the true noble leadership. The high-ranking family would seek a gift or gifts from God at the change of life from childhood to adulthood. Each person had their own gifts. The quest is done in isolation on the mountains, with no outside influence. The sharing of song motivates them to give of their best within potlatch society. One woman's quest for a gift brought only love. She kept returning to the mountain for a more suitable gift for potlatch, but none was found for herself. She continued to love and give, but wasn't invited to the potlatches. Her children's gifts were peace and patience. She lived at the start of the mountain and planted a garden and lived in harmony with all. All the children adored her. God spoke to the Saanich and told them of a flood that would swallow all the land. God told them to anchor their canoes to the mountain with cedar ropes. They prepared, but left the safety of the canoes to gather items achieved from the many potlatches. They left all their children with love, peace, and patience. She set the children in the canoes and covered them with cedar mats and gave each child a bailer. The flood hit suddenly. The children held onto the canoes. The water spilled into the canoes, but they bailed just as fast. The babies were swaddled so tightly that they slept through the rocking of the waves. The children made it through the flood, but when the waters subsided, the cedar branches snapped like twigs. The canoes all floated away in all different directions and never returned to Saanich. This is why the root language of all BC is Saanich. They all have love, peace, patience, and know how to share their gifts from God.